talk about how you bundle notes and how you put portfolios together and sell them. I think that's probably interesting to people. Give them some of the upside and why it's worth doing it correctly.
Land notes, most institutional mortgage banker operations won't buy notes on land. So if I know a lot of guys that in the institutional originated loans were sold to Fannie Mae and they had to buy it back, or loans that were paying and then all of a sudden they got in default and they had to do a modification, a reperform. Now it's paying again, a reperforming note. Those are called scratch and dent loans, similar to scratch and dent appliances. But there's a huge market. I know one firm that trades like 30 billion a year. So when I call them and tell them I have land paper, it doesn't fit most of their banks and hedge funds that buy, the insurance companies that buy that kind of stuff. They won't buy that asset class. So if I've had to go make a market for people that I could paint over a picture of, this is common sense. So my conversation doesn't change from the guy that owns the note from the guy that I'm going to package up a whole bunch of notes to and sell it. It's exact same conversation. It's make sense property, make sense underwriting. The people are likely to pay. They're going to be able to fulfill their dreams that they have for the property. All of a sudden, they're going to want to pay us every month because they're getting what they want, and they're going to make sure we get what we want, which is the paper, is the payment, right? And when you do that and you really look at it, you're right. We just have built up, we just legitimize the business, and the land guru thing has come around. It's not really been around that long. The whole land guru thing's really only been around probably 6 or 8 years. Now, there may have been some guy that said I was teaching it 10 years ago, but it wasn't a blip on the screen. Now, all of a sudden, it's become super popular and everybody's teaching it. We're going to go do it. And once again, I'm just trying to go help people with looking back in time and experience and say, these are what successful notes look like. Whether you sell them to me or you keep them, it doesn't make any difference. I don't want you to go sell all your notes to me. I want you to use this business to grow wealth. I think that's why most people did it, right?
Absolutely. That is a big reason I think a lot of people do it. What's the buyers that you're targeting or that you're sitting under? Institutional investors, obviously. I think you mentioned dentists and maybe lawyers. Can you talk about who you work with, how you find those people, what the market looks like for those people? It sounds pretty blue ocean if people are doing it correctly.
Yeah. So what I found, the reason I have a training company is nobody's ever going to buy assets without training. There are websites and I'm friendly with them and they're friendly with me. But what happens is they have people that don't have education and they go in there and click the buy button. And then all of a sudden they have buyer's remorse and then they don't close. And then they top deals and they won't close. The reason is because they don't have any confidence in their decision. Education is nothing but confidence. Listen, I know that some doctor or dentist or high-end realtor that's a member of my note school membership, I know they're not going to go out and be on this podcast and go find a portfolio of notes. That's not what they do every day. They want me to go do that. They want me to go find them. They want me to vet them. They want me to go through the process. And then they want me to provide a done-for-you service that I basically hand it to them on a platter. And so we've figured out that we're filling a need between our land friends, which are you guys that have paper, and these group of high net worth people that want to go buy a predictable cash flow without a headache. And we're trying to serve the middle.
And how do land investors find you to present notes?
I'm in land masterminds. I'm on podcasts pretty frequently. We definitely target people that are vendors for land notes, whether they have specialty software or, that kind of thing. We're networking. We know a little bit of where to drill, but it's pretty common, Brandon, that somebody calls me like you did and says, hey, I was at an event and your name came up, blah, 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 and here we go. And that's not uncommon. But we're keeping the door open. We're trying to constantly reach out in the marketplace and keep the connections open and stuff. There's it's never intended to be in a bad tone, but I'm quick to define, hey, we don't buy notes on these lots that really don't. Let me give you a litmus test. If you're buying notes in a subdivision and the subdivision was 2,000 lots and you look out there and there's a dozen houses on it and the subdivision's 60 years old,
Hmm.
Guess what? It probably didn't work.
Do you go on to the online marketplaces and look for high quality notes there, or do you do most of your business just inbound?
No, we don't go to the websites.
Mhm.
I think we're a little better known we're more of a commodity in the market. We're a little better known than that.